a helpless family, a corrupt officer, and one unshakable devotee. What happened next will strengthen your faith forever. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada once said about Gour Govinda Swami Maharaj, he is a devotee from birth. Therefore, whether it was his childhood, his householder life, or his sannyas pastimes, every event of his life is divine and offers deep spiritual lessons in bhakti for conditioned souls like us. Today we bring you a special pastimes from his householder life which reveals the true meaning of complete surrender and dependence on the Supreme Lord. In 1995 at Villa Vrindavan, Italy, Srimad Gour Govinda Swami Maharaj delivered a deeply heartfelt and nectarian lecture. After the class, while returning to his room, he paused and turned to the devotees surrounding him. With a gentle smile, he said, I don't know why this topic came to my mind and I spoke it in class today. Normally I don't share such things publicly, but somehow Krishna prompted it and it just came out. He was referring to a remarkable and faith-filled incident from 1972 when he was still a householder. It was a divine pastime revealing the miraculous mercy of the Lord, the power of the holy name and the unshakable faith of his pure devotee. To preserve this previous memory and relish its nectar, we approached the eldest son of Srila Gurudev Govinda Swami Maharaj, His Grace Vijay Manik Prabhu. He was a college student at the time and was travelling with Srila Gurudev Govinda Swami Maharaj on that very journey to Haridwar and outwards to Rishikesh. His Grace Vijay Prabhu recalls, we were 7 in total, travelling from Howrah to Haridwar by the Doon Express. My youngest sister and younger brother remained at home, so it was just the 5 elder siblings along with our father Srila Gurudev and mother Guru Mata, who undertook this pilgrimage. We first travelled by train from Bhubaneswar to Howrah and from there boarded the Doon Express. At that time, Srila Gurudev was a high school teacher and every year he received a 2-month summer vacation. Without fail, he used this time to take the family on pilgrimage to various holy places. In the summer of 1972, we were going to Haridwar and Rishikesh. Srila Gurudev always chose places where he could associate with sadhus, and he especially loved being near the banks of the sacred Ganges. Haridwar and Rishikesh are full of ascetics, saints, and spiritually uplifting atmospheres, so naturally he was drawn there. We had reserved sleeper class tickets, but they were on the waiting list, numbers 8 to 12. Still, we were hopeful since many cancellations happened and we were among the first in line to be allotted vacant seats. After boarding the train, we placed our luggage near the small space at the door. My mother sat on one of the bags, with the smaller children gathered around her. Srila Gurudev stood peacefully chanting the holy names with his bead bag in hand. I was moving through the compartment, speaking with other passengers and checking on the situation. We eagerly awaited the arrival of the TTE so he could assign us our seats. Many other travelers were also on the waiting list, some with numbers as high as 80. Compared to them, we were quite early on the list and confident we would get our seats. When the TTE finally came, Srila Gurudev approached him with our ticket in hand. The TTE glanced at it and casually said, "Okay, wait, I will give you seats once some become vacant." He kept coming and going several times, but each time he ignored us and never allotted us any seats. Srila Gurudev, being simple-hearted and trusting, believed his words and continued his chanting peacefully. But I, being a young college student, could clearly sense the real issue. The TTE was expecting a bribe. Without money, he wouldn't assign us any seats. Many others around us were also traveling on waiting list tickets. Yet gradually they were all being allotted seats. It was evident that something unfair was going on. Concerned, my mother, Guruma, went to Gurudev and said, "He is giving seats to everyone except us. Why don't you speak to him?" So Gurudev went and spoke to a gentleman nearby who had just received seats for his family. They were originally on waiting list number 15, while we were on number 8. Srila Gurudev politely asked, "Your waiting list number is 15, but ours is 8. How did you get seats while we didn't?" The gentleman frankly admitted, "I gave him 100 rupees. Without bribe, he won't give seats to anyone." Hearing this, Srila Gurudev simply walked away. He returned to Guruma and said with firm conviction, "I cannot spend Lord's money in such sinful activities. I cannot give bribe." Both my mother and I tried to convince him. "Please give him the money," we pleaded. "Otherwise, we will have to travel like this for 3 days. The children are small and it's unbearable to sit here like this near the latrine. We paid for the ticket. We deserve seats. Please do something." But Gurudev gently replied, "If I will give him money, that will cause him inauspiciousness. That kind of income brings sinful reactions and he will suffer. How can I knowingly cause someone to suffer?" Frustrated, I argued, "What about the suffering he is giving to us?" Gurudev calmly answered, "Lord Gopal will take care of that. Lord Gopal will also take care of us." I already knew that convincing my father to give a bribe was impossible. He had never done it, not even for his own promotion. But I was young and impatient. When the TTE came again, I began to argue with him directly. "How can you allot seats to people with waiting list number 15 and not to us who have number 8? The TTE snapped, "Go and complain against me if you want. I don't care." That night passed like this. We slept with our luggage near the train door. Gurudev lovingly instructed all of us, "Go on chanting Hare Krishna until sleep naturally overcomes you." Srila Gurudev stood and chanted all night, calm and unshaken. He never showed a trace of irritation or anger. In the morning, Guruma once again approached him with pain in her heart. "We have passed one whole day like this. There are still 2 more days left to reach Haridwar. With these small children, I cannot sit like this anymore. You must pay the bribe and get seats. Everyone else is doing it. Why won't you?" Gurudev continued chanting peacefully. Then smiling gently, he said to her, "Don't be so angry. We did our part. We booked the ticket honestly. Still, if we haven't been allotted seats, that means Lord Gopal has made other arrangements for us. By keeping us awake all night, he is giving us the opportunity to chant more. Otherwise, we would be sleeping and snoring. This is a chance to depend more on Lord Gopal." But Guruma was still not convinced. She said firmly, "Either you arrange seats now or I am not traveling like this any further." Finally, Gurudev said, "Okay, let the TTE come. I will speak with him." That morning when the TTE arrived, Srila Gurudev approached him and said with firmness and devotion in his voice, "Look, I will not give you any bribe because this is Lord's money. I use it only for his service. What you are doing is wrong. You are committing a sinful act by not allotting us our rightful seats. This is injustice." Hearing these words, the TTE stared at Gurudev for few seconds and then replied, "Okay, I will allot you your seats this afternoon when the train reaches Mughalsarai station, now known as Deen Dayal Upadhyaya station." The whole family finally felt a sense of relief, and we eagerly awaited noon, hoping the TTE would keep his word and allot us our seats. Mughalsarai Junction is a major railway hub where the trains often stop for more than 20 minutes. It's also the station where the TTE usually changes. When the train reached the station, we began looking for the TTE who had promised us the seats, but he was gone. A new TTE had taken charge. We realized with disappointment that the previous TTE had deceived us. But what could we do? Srila Gurudev approached the new TTE and patiently explained everything: the waiting list situation, the false promise made by the earlier TTE, and the injustice done to us. He pointed out that the previous TTE had given seats to people with a higher waiting list like number 15 while ignoring us who were at number 8. However, the new TTE was rude and unkind. He replied bluntly, "The previous TTE didn't inform me of anything, so I am not giving you any seats." When Srila Gurudev tried to raise his voice gently against such injustice done by those in responsible positions, the TTE shouted back, If you can't travel like this, then get off the train. I am not giving you any seats." These harsh words wounded Gurudev's heart. Calmly and with dignity he said, "Okay, then we will get down. If we are not allotted seats, then we will not support this injustice anymore." And just like that, Srila Gurudev asked all of us to gather our luggage and onboard the train. We all get down and sat on the platform under the blazing heat of the summer sun. It was noon and the temperature was scorching. But Srila Gurudev, completely undisturbed, said to us, "Chant Hare Krishna. We are dependent on Lord Gopal. He will surely make arrangements for us." So there we were, myself, my mother, and 4 younger siblings, sitting on the hot cement platform chanting the holy name. Though externally it seemed like a difficult situation, but for Gurudev, internally it was a divine moment, a full surrender to the Lord. Barely 5 to 7 minutes had passed when, to our astonishment, we saw the same rude TTE get down from the train and coming running toward us. He came directly to Srila Gurudev, held his hands and said with great remorse, "I am sorry. Please forgive me. Kindly come back. I have allotted 3 seats for your family." We were all stunned. This was the same person who had so harshly rejected us just moments earlier. What had changed? Srila Gurudev humbly nodded and guided us back onto the train. The TTE showed us our seats and we resumed our journey toward Haridwar. Later we learned what had happened inside the coach after we had disembarked. A strong reaction had broken out among the passengers. They were outraged and began to protest against the injustice. "Why are you throwing such a decent family out of the train?" they shouted. "They have small children and they have already suffered so much. Why didn't you give them seats? You gave them to others who paid bribes, but not to this gentleman who did nothing wrong." Even more striking was the presence of a tough-looking man from Bihar, someone the passengers described as a gunda, a gangster. He directly threatened the TTE, "If that gentleman doesn't get back on this train, I will make your life miserable." The pressure from the crowd, along with the sudden fear awakened by this unexpected protector, shook the TTE's conscience. Realizing his mistake, he rushed to the platform before the train departed and respectfully brought us back in. Once again, we had witnessed the miraculous results of Srila Gurudev's unshakable faith in the holy name. The impossible had become possible without any worldly strategy, influence, or compromise. That night, as the train rumbled toward Haridwar, Srila Gurudev said to my mother with a gentle smile, "You wanted me to complain and get us the seats. I tried, but it didn't work. But you never asked Gopal to arrange for us. Now you can see, Gopal has done everything himself." In the beginning of this story, we mentioned how Srila Gour Govinda Swami Maharaj had unexpectedly shared this incident during a lecture in Villa Vrindavan, Italy in 1995. After the class, he said, "I don't know why I spoke about this today. Usually I don't speak such things. It just came spontaneously. Krishna must have prompted me." Indeed, it was prompted by Lord Gopal himself, so that this divine pastime could become a source of inspiration and a guiding light for countless devotees, teaching them to have unwavering faith in the holy name. Srimad Gour Govinda Swami Maharaja's childhood and householder life are filled with many wonderful pastimes that are a source of deep teachings for all of us. We will be bringing all of them in the coming days. Hare Krishna.